Hey guys, Dr. Nathan and Dr. Rebecca here, and we wanted to come on and talk about the immune system because this past weekend, right, Dr. Rebecca, how did you feel?
Horrible. Not this weekend, like this past week. It was tough.
Yeah.
We know there's a lot going around right now. Like straps going around and the flu and a stomach bug. I couldn't decide if strep or which one was worse, strep or stomach bug. But we in our house after Thanksgiving got hit with, I think it was the flu and the strep, all of the above because our 3-year-old went crazy. But I think it was strep and the flu. We didn't go and get tested or anything. We just heard from people around us that had the same symptoms as us. But on Thursday, I was in the office and I was working, and that morning I woke up with this little tinge, in my right tonsil, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then by Thursday night, I lost my voice. I could not speak. By Saturday, I was literally dying. I was dying. If someone would have said, hey, I'll come cut out your tonsils, I probably would have considered it. And then by Monday, I was back on the mend. The kids, Elijah bounced back within about 24, 48 hours. Yeah. Rosie was a little bit longer, but she is younger, and her immune system, is still developing. But I was telling everyone in the office, I never get sick, and so I got really cocky. Dr. Nathan doesn't play around. He doesn't care if he has an ironclad immune system. If someone coughs, he's like, all right, up in my, he'll tell you what he does.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
But he upped all his supplements, and he kept telling me, and I'm like, I don't get sick. I'm fine, whatever. And then I got really sick. So we thought it would be a really great time. Someone just wrote perfect timing to talk about what to do to prevent, what to do if you're starting to feel, sick, and what to do if you were dying, like I was on Saturday.
Yeah, I will say this though, as bad as she was, maybe you should post the picture of, like, she literally took a picture and you could see how swollen, her lymph nodes were. You could literally see it just like from a picture like that. But anyway, I will say this. She went through all of that, and how much medication did you take?
Zero
medication, right? And so again, I think that I want to talk about this first. I think people run to the medicine cabinet and to their doctors way too fast. And so sometimes, back when I first started practicing it, I would have said, man, this is kind of controversial. I don't know if I should say this. You guys, you run to your doctor way too quickly. Like, I mean, people go for, I got a stomachache, got to go to my doctor. Oh, I got a fever, got to go to my doctor. Oh, I'm coming down with symptoms, I got to find out what it is. And I think that a lot of times, you can deal with it at home. All right. And so, Dr. Rebecca, dealing with what you had, you weren't stupid about it.
No.
Right?
There's a time and a place. There's emergencies.
Right?
And that wasn't it. But I think a really big thing, and we have this conversation a lot with the people that we coach, especially the families and the kids that we're coaching, is that, we live at a time where we avoid pain and difficult things as much as possible for ourselves, but especially for our children. But it's in those difficult moments, in all areas of our life, in those difficult moments where you're really developed.
Yes.
That's when you really grow. That's where you really see some major changes in your life. When you go through a difficult season, you come out stronger on the other end. And so when it comes to sickness, we look for all the ways to decrease the symptoms, but there are, studies upon studies showing that our immune system must be primed. Our immune system must be exposed. Our immune system must be put to work to become stronger, to develop memory cells, so that now for the rest of our lives we know this. We know for a fact that children getting sick within the first year of life, it's not a, hey, your kid should get sick. That if they do not get sick within the first year of their life, it is detrimental to their overall health for the rest of their lives. In fact, it can even increase their chances of things like leukemia. There's a scientist out of England, we did a video on that, who said that's major.
Yeah. I mean, this guy was literally knighted for his, 35 plus years work in childhood cancer, and literally talked about how the number one thing that again happens in these kids that develop leukemia is they don't actually get sick in their first year of life. So again, kind of going back to this whole, hygiene hypothesis, we've literally over sanitized and over sterilized our world. And actually, I wanted to go over something new that we actually discovered. It's actually pretty incredible, looking at the tonsils, right? And the tonsils, I used to just think, man, part of the lymphatic system, they're part of drainage. Guys, the tonsils are so much more important than that. The tonsils are literally a part of the memory system of your immune system. So let me explain something to you really quick. You have two parts of the immune system, Th1, Th2. All right. Now, I'm not going to dive into the whole aspect of that, but what I want to talk to you about is that when a mother gives birth to their child, the mother's immune system is stimulating the Th2 side of the immune system. That's what pushes the baby out. So when the baby is born, initially, they are actually utilizing what's called the Th2 part of the immune system. But what they need to do is they actually need to be exposed to different microorganisms like bacteria and viruses that actually turn on their Th1 immune system. And it's the tonsils that actually start to learn that process. So when they're putting stuff in their mouth as they're growing up, they are actually basically naturally inoculating themselves and actually building up the memory cells and the resistance there in the tonsils. The tonsils are that important. And here's what's interesting. What they're showing is if a baby is born into, for example, like a hospital setting, where what's the microorganisms and bacteria around there? Basically, they try to sterilize it, but what are the most common bacteria you find in hospitals? Things like E. coli, staph, right? Some of these C. diff, some of these really, really, kind of pathogenic bacteria. But so in that first year of life, the baby's Th1 immune system is actually not stimulated in our modern world. This is a big deal because guess what that leads to later on? Autoimmune conditions, because now the Th2 system is overstimulated. All because of the tonsils. Isn't that crazy?
And that's huge though, because in a time where a doctor can easily, comfortably, is that a word?
Yeah,
comfortably.
Close enough.
Okay, comfortably perform, tonsillectomies. You don't even have to think twice about it. At a time where we can easily put like plastic tubes in our ears, we are forgetting that is pointing to a deeper issue. Mm-hmm. So yes, we can cut out the tonsils easily, but then you're missing the fact that the tonsils they were alerting you over and over again to these underlying infections and to these immune imbalances. And instead of saying, hey, whoa, what's going on with this infection? Why is this immune system so out of whack? We cut it out, and then we remove the signaling system. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This really important part of our immune system, which then, again, autoimmune issues, immune system issues, and those types of things. So in our house, we do want our kids to be comfortable, but we don't want to take away what the body's naturally trying to do. Yep. So we do not fight fevers. I will help we'll help our children be comfortable, but the fever, the studies, again, are vast as well. Hospitals are telling parents, even febrile seizures aren't problematic. Mm-hmm. Your body, you have your own natural system within your brain that's going to regulate and make sure that fever isn't going out of control, because your child's body doesn't want to harm itself. However, it's this constant trying to suppress a body that's trying to heat up to fight things. Mm-hmm. So right off the bat, we don't treat a fever. Mm-hmm. No. We help the immune system fight what it's supposed to be. Yeah,
and I've even to build confidence in parents. I've even put it this way, because everybody always has it in the back of their mind that says, things like, well, but what if it's like, viral meningitis, or what if it's like one of the, bacterial meningitis, one of the dangerous ones, and things like that. Well, even in those cases, just so you guys know, that are very, very rare, even in those cases, it's not the fever that damages the child. It's not even the fever that if the child ends up dying from it, it's not even the fever that does that, right? It's the swelling of the brain. It has zero to do with the fever. The fever is still trying to naturally fight it off. So even in those cases, they don't. And there's always some red flags. Like, for example, like some red flags would be things like, you know, your baby or your child is lethargic and they just literally will not do, you know, really anything. They're not responding to stimuli. There's a difference.
Not tired. Yeah. Lethargic is just like weakness, like just overall inability to do things. And you can see your kids, we hear parents say like, oh, they're really tired and then they're just sleeping. Yeah. That's different than being lethargic. And then usually when you give it 24 hours, they're up and playing again. Another
one's like a stiff neck, right? That stays that way. You know, stiff neck can be a sign that, hey, maybe I need to go and get some further testing done. But yeah, bottom line is when you're looking at, you know, a fever is an amazing thing that the body is naturally fighting it off. So we actually want to support the body in that. So
I remember
which is a big thing.
When my fever hit on Thursday, I was like, oh, it's so cold in here. I was like, why is it so cold? Touch me. He's like, you have a fever. I was like, oh my gosh, I have a fever. I was like so like out of it.
Yeah.
But okay, so some of the things, so talk about what you did. So guys, we know flu's going around, strep's going around, we'll touch on the end. So what did you do? And then we'll talk about what I did, and then we'll talk about what we did with the kids. But what did you do
for prevention
to avoid not dying?
All right. Well, the first thing I do is I drastically increase my vitamin D intake. All right. So now I do kind of a whole fat soluble vitamin D. So I do one from Systemic Formulas. It's their vitamin D3 that's got A, D, E, and K, and a bunch of other immune properties in it as well. But, you know, when I hear people say, well, I increased my vitamin D, I always ask, okay, how much? So when I increased it, I started doing 20 to 25,000 IUs a day, right? So I go way up on my vitamin D. Second thing I did is I started actually taking some colloidal silver, right? Because colloidal silver is absolutely amazing. And actually it's got a lot of literature to back it up, which is really cool. But really it kind of pumps the brakes on infection, allows your immune system to really kick in and do some great things with that. Some other things that I did, listen, there's a supplement called ACF, right? And I made you take it. And listen,
it doesn't taste great.
It doesn't. There's other. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
There's other supplements that, you know, actually have some similar ingredients in it. But, you know, what's amazing is this one's been around for a long time. And man, it works. It tastes like junk, but it really, really works. And it's got things like olive leaf extract in it. It's got things like, it's got some colloidal silver in it. It's got some white willow bark extract in it. It's got some amazing, immune booster, astragalus, all in it as well. And so I used that and I did 2 or 3 doses during the day. What else did I do?
What was the brand? Did you say the brand?
The brand was ACF, right?
Oh, that's the brand?
I think it's like Buried Treasure maybe is the brand that does it. And it tastes, again, it doesn't taste great. It's got essential oils in it, but it doesn't taste great, but it stinking works, right? I drink a lot of bone broth. Actually, I think on the first day that she came down with it, I just fasted pretty much the whole day, just water really. And then I started drinking some bone broth. When you fast, you avert energy, right? So your body uses about 80% of its energy to digest food. So if you're not digesting food, guess what gets to work harder? Your immune system. So, anytime I'm not feeling well or if I'm coming down with something, I will definitely fast with lots of water. I'll probably add some sea salt to my water just to add up the electrolytes. And then I would say, definitely I get adjusted, try to get adjusted, multiple times a day when I'm not feeling well. But anyway, the last one I was going to say too is I started getting a little bit of a sore throat. You want to know how to knock out a sore throat like this? If it's just coming on, I use oregano with an OL at the end of it. It's oregano oil cut with extra virgin olive oil. and I put a few drops under the tongue, and then I take a drink of water, and before I swallow, I gargle that. And I'm telling you right now, you want to knock out a sore throat. That is absolute money right there. So those are some of the things I did for prevention.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about what I did. So again, I had strep. I did have double ear infection. I mean, I haven't gotten sick in a really long time. I got it all. I got all of y'all's germs. Like something, my body was like, okay, it's time
Let's
to
just do it all at
the
once,
system.
right? Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna have to help me with this because half of the weekend I was like blacked out.
So you did
Vitamin
Genexa.
D3.
You did Genexa's Flu Fix, right? So it's
Genexa's the brand.
and it's actually the world's first organic pharmaceutical company. Kind of a cool thing, but they use zero drugs. They use zero drugs.
I will say this: Kaylee was like oregano oil. Ooh, yeah. Or
But you gotta cut it.
Actually, but the oregano, the OL, because I know there's really great brands that of oils that have oregano. It's a lot stronger. But the oregano is cut, so it's not hard to take down at all. It just tastes like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Genexa.
Yeah.
I did the flu, and wasn't there another one we did?
Yeah, so we did some more homeopathic stuff. Man, I'd have to look at it. We may have to take a picture of it when we get home.
I did biocidin liposomal formula. So biocidin is a really strong herbal. It is potent. I'm sick and now using it. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
I will say the way I used oregano as well. I used oregano and frankincense. And I cut it with coconut oil and I rubbed it on the bottoms of my feet and put socks on.
Yep. We did, for you, we did olive leaf extract and astragalus. It came in the same little dropper form, which, just so you guys know, astragalus is one of the most powerful substances on the planet that actually increase natural killer cells. So when you utilize astragalus, you're increasing your natural killer cells. Absolutely amazing. And it is a Th1 immune booster. So that means if you are constantly stuck in the Th2 part of the immune system, which, unfortunately the majority of our population is, and astragalus is a great Th1 responder. So you did, some of that as well.
Absolutely. Someone asked, how good is elderberry for colds?
Great. I like elderberry.
It's really good.
Elderberry is fantastic.
Yeah, we used the elderberry lady here locally to Chattanooga. Really
She's
awesome. We chugged it. We got a flu one or a sinus one and an elderberry one from her.
She's great. Yeah.
So
we'll have to post a link with her or something.
Absolutely.
So you guys can see it.
Yeah, absolutely. A really cool thing I did. I vibed. So a frequency plate. So in our office, part of our rehab equipment that we have here is frequency plates. So those plates that vibrate. And so what I was looking for when you've got tonsil issues or like strep issues like that, what you want is to get the lymphatic system moving. You want it to drain. So two of the things that I did within the lymphatic system, you might add another one in. I know you can do lymphatic massage, but I vibed. And then I took Limplex. Limplex was amazing.
Yep.
We'll put links to all of this for you guys in the caption once we're done here.
Yep. So Limplex is from a company called Remedy Link, which is a really amazing company that really does supplements a lot different than what you expect, right? And so absolutely fantastic, really at draining the lymphatic system. Actually, when you did that, it was like literally that night. I mean, she had such massive drainage going down that like it was fantastic. And now I will say one thing I wish you would have done, and now for next time, is sleep sitting up, right? Not with the neck like this, but like actually propped up, leaning forward, so that your lymphatic system can drain during the night, which is really, really good. It would help quite a bit.
Yeah, Limplex was great. Ventry said, I tried the elderberry drink and it didn't seem to work.
You may just need
it might be a stronger one, or it works for him quickly. It doesn't for me. So I think everybody is different. That's why when you're taking in herbal things, you have to take in your biochemistry into consideration. Katie said, "How do you spell astragalus?"
ASTRA straga. GALUS, maybe?
That's
Something like
ASTRA,
that.
yeah.
You get close to that, like, Bing should finish it out for you.
Yeah.
Don't use Google.
Yeah. Okay, and then let's talk about lymphatic massage. Can you show them? So this is where you want to go with the
and this is good for allergies too, right? So a really great way to actually like do your own lymph massage in the face and neck area, as well as like for seasonal allergies, is you take 2 fingers right here on the frontal sinus here, and you press in pretty hard, and you're gonna run it all the way down to the chin, and you're gonna repeat that like 30 times. Then you're gonna go right here, again, pressing really hard, and you're gonna go all the way down to the chin, again, 30 times. You're gonna go right underneath the nose, same thing, 30 times all the way down to the chin. Then when you get to the chin, you're gonna press down and go along. You actually got some lymph nodes right here that actually come in front of the ear and go down into the neck. So you're gonna go press down and all the way down underneath the clavicle. Now, which again, or the collarbone. And once you get towards the collarbone, after you do that 30 times, you're gonna get right underneath. There's 2 spots that are super tender. You know, whether you're dealing with, you know, sickness or disease or not, there's these spots that are really tender. You've got a bunch of lymph nodes. Actually, your second largest lymphatic area right underneath the clavicle here, and you actually just rotate like this for about 2 or 3 minutes, and that helps to release the lymphatic system. And you will feel it. As you start to do this, you will literally feel your lymphatic system starting to drain, your sinuses starting to drain.
As you're talking about it, I feel like I can remember it, like from this weekend. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, and I would say use olive oil or coconut oil so that you're not like scraping your skin as you go down. But man, it's amazing. And then you can even breathe in like some peppermint, and like eucalyptus is really great to really kind of breathe in. And that kind of opens everything up, you know, too.
Another thing I did after my fever broke and I was still feeling the symptoms is I saunaed. I saunaed. You made me do it. I didn't want to, but it was like this switch. So the fever again is helping to fight whether it's viral, bacterial, whatever it is under there. I jumped in our sauna and just got really, really warmed up and sweated out. Usually I can go 32 minutes. I usually go 32 minutes, but when I was sick, I maybe went 19 minutes. But once I was sweating, I was sweating it out. What was that?
I was laughing because Kaylee's like, you know, I forget the oil, like I'm draining right now, and like we're doing this thing. It was hilarious.
I did do a lot. I did about 20,000 IUs. So I do the vitamin D3 with the fat soluble vitamins. It is not good to be taking vitamin D3, whether maintenance dose or in high doses, without at least at minimum vitamin K, but is optimal with other fat soluble vitamins. So I did that. I wish I would have had, we should have had all the supplements here when we did it.
We can take a picture of it and post it on our page so that you can see all those
things.
And again, we don't use these things all the time, but they're in our quote-unquote medicine cabinet, right? They're in our supplement wellness cabinet. So
that's what I would like to say. A lot of the supplements that are kicking, that we take that will clear things out. I mean, for me to have strep and flu and double ear infection and to go from Friday to Monday and be completely, back on my feet and talking again. We have supplements within our medicine cabinet that are strong that you're not going to necessarily find at Earth Fair, even though I did get a lot of stuff there. I also, what did I do with my throat? What did I spray in there?
So we sprayed some of the, what was it called? Like Singer's Soothe or something, throat soother.
Yeah.
I think Gaia Herbs has one, and then, I forget the brand that you got. We'll have to, again, take a picture. It's like a yellow one.
Yeah.
Because you don't like the stinging
I don't like the stinging. I don't know why they sting. I did do frankincense in my throat as well. And that was with a Q-tip in my tonsils because they were so swollen. And I fasted as well. I fasted as much as I could. And this is the biggest thing. I think like we try to figure out like, oh, let's feed the body. Let's do this. Just listen to the body, because when I needed to fast, I fasted. And then if I needed it and I was hungry and I felt weak, I had broth in the evening. And it was really, really good.
Yep.
So vitamin D3, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, we just mentioned with the lymph node, Kelly, that you can do Limplex, right? That's the one we did with her. That's the one I use a lot in the clinic, and it works fantastic. Limplex really gets the, again, it's from Remedy Link. I think that's a great one.
It was
Lymph Drainage
powerful.
from Des Bio is a good one as well, that you can use to really start moving lymph. And do we use whole body vibration plate? Yes, we have like 4 or 5 of them in our office here that our patients and clients use. We use it, just about every single day, right? For wellness and prevention and everything. Some other things that you did, we tried to sleep, lots of sleep.
Yeah,
as much as you get for kids,
I think that's the biggest thing that we need is to rest and to slow down. And I completely understand because I wanted to sleep in on Friday and Saturday and I couldn't. I had to be up at 7 a.m. with the kids. But then on Sunday, I slept until 12:30. And I think rest is I think a majority of the people that I see in my office that are getting sick, it's because they are going too fast and they're not slowing down and using that opportunity to rest.
Yeah, no doubt. What do we recommend for autoimmune T1 stimulant? Oh man, that's a whole another Facebook Live. I mentioned earlier astragalus is a Th1, stimulant, which is pretty good. Let's see.
Remember that list you found in that study?
Yeah, I can post. I've got a good study that I can actually post on that, which would be really, really good as well. So I'm trying to think anything else that you did that we may be missing.
I might go home and take a picture of if you guys. Oh, you know what we found? Didn't really help me at all. But it was still kind of cool that we found it. The Ricola, they come out Ricola.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they actually make stevia.
We're desperate.
Now, yeah.
Those little hard candies to kind of like suck on to help, like herbal candies. They have stevia now, and it was kind of nice because
no sugar.
I couldn't talk, so my mouth was just getting dry, and so I had something to kind of suck on.
Tons of hot organic tea, right?
A lot of organic tea.
which is fantastic. Let's see, and then there was one more I just thought of, and
what's the one that there's one that I put under my tongue? We did do a lot of homeopathic. What was the brand?
Genexa is the only one I can think of right now.
And there's another one. I thought it was the same people who do the Oscillium one.
Probably.
Yeah. We'll take a picture and show you guys what we did with that. But with the kids, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this. I think the best supplement that we have ever used for our kids, and I have people that are like, oh, what do you think about Mary Ruth's and this and all that? I haven't tried that. I know that's really popular right now because of Instagram, but the quickest I see my kids jump back, they feel great. The best supplement that we have for our kids is from Systemic Formulas. Yes, it's a practitioner brand that you have to get it. We have it on our store, in our Rev Health store. If you go to doctorswarren.com, right there, a shop, you'll see Rev Health. You click on there. We love the Systemic Formulas. It was the Tough Play, but we did Tough Play, Brainy Play, and
we always do the multi one, whatever that one.
Yeah, the multivitamin one. Yeah. And I'll post a picture for that for you guys. But they're 3 separate supplements and they're liquid. They don't have any junk in it. I mean, Systemic Formulas is, an amazing brand. You don't see them in the stores. You don't hear a ton about them because practitioners that are dealing with really difficult cases, really big cases, they'll use it. And so the Tough Play, what's all in it?
You got echinacea, you got vitamin C, you've got astragalus, you've got lemon balm, you've got what else? Vitamin D, vitamin K. It's got like literally everything that you need for the immune system.
A, E, and K.
For the kids. It's got some elderberry in it. It's just fantastic.
And it's a dropper, so the kids, they love it. We like to play little fishies. They open their mouth. And I think
0 sugar in it.
Sugar.
No sugar at all.
They'll do like 4 of those droppers that's what they take on a daily basis. They love to take it. They're getting to a point where they're taking it themselves. We'll open it for them. They drop it into their mouth. but when they weren't feeling well, they were doing it like 4 times a day. So the systemic formulas kids line is amazing.
Yeah, the Brainy Play that we use, you guys have probably heard me talk about that before, but it's like a perfect 4-to-1 ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 or omega-6 to omega-3 ratio of fat. So amazing for their brain, amazing for their cells, which again is always key to everything, right? In getting the body well. And what I also like is it actually doesn't use fish oil in it. It actually uses algae oil in it, which is much more stable, a lot healthier. Actually, what makes fish healthy to eat and fish oil, somewhat healthy to take, the only thing that does that is because they consume all of those like phytoplankton and algae and microorganisms. So guess what? Just go straight to the source and get it. It's much better that way anyway. So that's what we love to use for the kids. We use Genexa again.
They have the cold crush for kids, little tablets, unsweet. They loved it.
Homeopathic and herbs. That's all they use in it. Very, very clean.
Genexa is a cool brand. And then we did find, so we got the elderberry gummies from the elderberry lady, and the kids ate it in like a day, which I don't know that's safe for them with elderberry, but they did.
They did.
So we did also get some more Garden of Life.
Yes. Wow. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, Garden of Life. We know they sold to, what's this bigger company? I don't know. Johnson & Johnson. I don't know. But
I was a little worried about them.
Yeah, I was worried about it too. But they used to have gummies, like elderberry, like they used to have multi-gummies that had a ton of sugar. That's my problem with a lot of these gummies. And yeah, Laura, we'll definitely post this all in writing for you guys. So come back, like, follow, comment on this video if you guys want us to do that, to write it all out for you. We'll create it. Maybe we'll even make a document. But we'll for sure work on making it a caption. But Garden of Life had, you found elderberry and vitamin D3 gummies that were, hey, Terry Samudi, it's Max's mom.
Oh, what's up, Max's mom?
Okay.
You got a great son.
Yeah.
Awesome guy.
And daughter-in-law.
And
Like
daughter-in-law
them both.
too. Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, so they have Garden of Life vitamin D3 gummies and elderberry gummies that are sweetened with
stevia monk fruit. Yeah, isn't that incredible? Yeah, so I mean, literally no sugar in it. Fantastic. It was loaded with other things too. I think it had organic cinnamon extract, like rose hips. It had some amazing things in their elderberry gummies, and they tasted fantastic.
We ate half of it.
Oh my gosh.
No lie. Good. Like we ate half of it because it was so good. And I just forgot about something. And I love when you talk about this. Hey, greetings from Kentucky. Hey, Ann.
Hi.
The one thing I do want you to talk about is Manuka honey.
Yeah.
Because Manuka honey is in this whole other world in itself. And I know people nowadays with the low carb and the keto, they're like, oh, honey. But Manuka honey, I had a lot of Manuka honey when I wasn't well.
Well, remember, like honey, I don't really put it in the category of sweetener because it's more of a food, because it's loaded with minerals and vitamins and all kinds of amazing like phytochemicals that really do a lot for the immune system. But Manuka honey actually has even more antimicrobial properties to it. And so, when you talk about it, like taking it medicinally is fantastic. And I will kind of counter some, unless you're like, doing ketogenic and really putting the body into ketosis, then you don't want to use, honey. But if you're just like doing more of a paleo lifestyle, there's actually studies that show that honey can actually lower blood glucose and actually naturally balance it over time, which is kind of cool. But raw Manuka honey is great medicinally. We used it in her tea. I use it in mine as well.
Throat.
Yep, straight in there. You can do some things like you can even gargle it with some warm salt water as well. In the raw Manuka honey, you can gargle it in the back of the throat and get some really great antimicrobial properties from it, and it tastes great all at the same time.
We like the brand Weatherspoon.
Yeah.
It's a red label, and I like it because they'll have a box with individual packets that you can take with you. Our kids use it. That's kind of like a treat.
And it doesn't cost us like $50.
I mean, it's still a bit on the pricier end, but it's because it's Manuka honey. So we did that. Genexa with the kids. We really upped their vitamin D3. We got them adjusted.
Mm-hmm.
We allowed them to rest. Did we do anything else?
With them, I think that's about
some
it.
essential oils. I did use some frankincense and some oregano diluted at the bottom of their feet. But yeah, guys, I hope we just wanted to jump on here. This wasn't even planned, but because I survived the plague of 2019.
Yeah, but remember, like, I love how you started this video. For those of you who are, just joining us, we started this video by talking about, Dr. Rebecca was down and out for the count, and yet, you made it through it without zero medication, right? Which I think is fantastic. And again, we really stress the point that, as much as we want to keep our bodies away from pain, right? We live in a society where it's like, gosh, we can never experience pain or discomfort. But in all facets of nature and health, moments of stress lead to resilience, right? It's the same thing with our immune system. Now, I'm not saying stupidity, right? I'm not saying that at all, but I am saying stress moments lead to resilience. Just like, food when it's grown in, like grapes, for example, when they're grown in a dry climate, and they're really almost mistreated in the environment, they produce a stronger, like antioxidant-filled, polyphenol-rich fruit at the end. It's a stronger fruit. It's an amazing fruit because it withstood, the stress and it became more resilient. It's no different with our kids. It's no different with us. So again, we really want to stress that your body is designed and created to heal. It's amazing how well it works. And so again, I really think that the more that you really just support the body through the process, you really start to see just how amazing it is. And it does get better over time. That means some of you guys haven't fought off a fever or a cold, in literally years. And so guess what? That first couple colds are probably going to, wear you out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I'll say this too. I think it's worth it in your home to begin investing in your alternative medicine cabinet. Again, like I said, I was thinking about the fact, I don't know what I would have done without Limplex. I don't know what I would have done without Biocidin, which is a potent antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, and it hits things systemically. I don't know what I would have done without our Argentine 23 or Clotho Silver, because when I had the ear infections, it had the mullein garlic oil and the, I wasn't draining or anything. I had the colloidal silver, I had the garlic there and on each side. And I will say this, we didn't mention this. Quicksilver Scientific Melatonin.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Jesus.
Liposomal, right?
Liposomal melatonin. That was one of those situations where I needed to rest.
I think you slept, 12 hours that night?
Oh my God. I used it for the 3 nights. And it's a little bottle, but one pump. As soon as I felt it, my body was able to relax and I didn't feel my tonsils and I didn't do anything like that. So we'll definitely we'll get that document you made and add this to it, and we'll give you guys our top medicine cabinet makeover, the supplements that, hey, maybe you can get at your local shop, but you should for sure just order it from these amazing companies who specialize in these things and leave it there. And maybe, when we go to the house, we can actually go, we'll do a video for you guys in our kitchen of our medicine. It's not a cabinet. It's a basket.
Yeah, it's just a basket.
Tons of stuff in it, but we have it. We don't think about it, but if something's happening, like if you're detoxing and he gets a headache, he'll take some feverfew, which is an herb, boom, clears it out.
Yep.
But we'll do that for you guys. But
no doubt. Well, hopefully you guys got a lot from it. And again, make sure that you post some of your favorite stuff on here. If you've got some favorite stuff that you love to use, make sure that you do that. And as always, man, please share information. If you loved it, that means that there's others that you are come in contact with that, probably are wondering the same thing. So, share the knowledge, because if nobody would have shared it with us, we wouldn't be able to share it with you. So we always love to be able to do that for you guys. So I hope you guys have a great night.
Wait, there's 20 people on right now. If you guys want me to post the picture of my gnarly tonsil, I'm you can see it sticking out. Comment and I'll post it.
It should. It was pretty crazy. It looked kind of like a little alien.
We practice. We're there along with you guys. We know it sucks, and sometimes you want to take that antibiotic. without knowing if it's bacterial or viral. You want to take that medication, whatever it may be. We're there with you guys, and we'll walk alongside with you guys.
And P.S. I've been counting my new patients, because all my old patients, they know this, but I've been counting all my new patients that I've kept a tally of who've had the flu shot, and then I've kept a tally of who's gotten the flu. Listen to this. 17 people of our new patients, right, over the last month, 17 got the flu shot. Guess how many of them got the flu? 16 out of the 17. So you know what? N equals 1. I don't need all of the FDA research stuff. Yeah, right.
There.
I did.
All right, really quick. We'll answer this for you guys. Do all vitamins need to be taken with food? Herbs like curcumin away from food better, morning, noon, or night? It depends on the supplement. But like things like curcumin.
Yeah, I mean, curcumin needs to, I honestly like to take it with food. Now, if somebody's got arthritis, you might want to take it on an empty stomach. But listen, if your curcumin doesn't have black pepper extract or what's called bioperine, it's not going to absorb. Like, it's just not going to. It has to have black pepper extract. It will 30 times it increases the absorption rate. So it's got to have black pepper extract. I don't care what, like, cool company on Instagram selling you on it. If it doesn't have that, it won't absorb. If you can find a liposomal form, it's even better. So,
but if you're taking a liposomal, which a lot of our supplements are liposomal,
away from food,
you're gonna if it's cut with fat, away from food, under your tongue for 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Something like a vitamin D3, you want to take that with food. Vitamin C.
Yeah, vitamin C you can do it with or without.
I did a lot of vitamin C too.
I think it's just better to take it throughout the day, right? Like getting a powder, that you can sip on throughout the day. When you do it that way, I mean, you could technically have anywhere from 5,000 to 15,000 milligrams because you're drinking it throughout the day, which is what I always like to do as well. So I think that's a fantastic one to do. Fat soluble vitamins, vitamin A, D, E, and K, they have to be taken with food. Mm-hmm. Again, because that's the way it would be in nature. Same thing with minerals. I believe it should be taken with food. The only other thing I'd say about supplements, don't take B vitamins during your fasting time because it'll kick you out of fasting. So you don't want to do that in the morning when you're actually fasting as well. You want to do that with food, right? B vitamins would be much better to do that as well too.
With food, mm-hmm. Absolutely. So a bunch of people were like, post your monster tonsil. Like,
Kaylee, thanks. I don't know. She's the smartest humans. I think Dr. Rebecca may disagree with me at a lot of times at home.
What? So. Well, that is true.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, it's late. I gotta go get some sleep. I don't want this to come back. It won't because my immune system's strong.
There you go.
But we'll definitely work on putting that together for you guys. Thank you for no vitamin D. Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in, and you guys have a great night.
See you guys.